Hey everyone, it's Sensei Lauren here. I said I would post a video that a lot of you guys voted on a while ago about our component system. So I'm going to take a few minutes just to go over our component system. Please share this with your student so that they understand what our components mean and what they're for, as well as taking the time to learn for yourself what they're for. And if you have any questions afterwards, please reach out to me or Miss JL or a higher ranking student or even some of our veteran parents who have been here for a while. So without further ado, let's talk about the component system for Mikio Sarai. So Mikio Sarai is composed of 10 different components. So no, we are not karate. The name of the system is actually Mikio Sarai. It's very much an aggressive, mindset-driven self-defense. So everybody on their belt has, if they've earned a white belt already, they have the numbers 1 through 10, or little tick marks. Some of them are numbered and some of them are 1 through 10. Everybody starts with a blank one. Everybody starts with no belt. Once you earn it, you'll get a blank one to earn all your stripes for. Now, the components that we work on are number 1, physical, 2, stances, 3, hand and arm techniques, 4, foot and leg techniques, 5, blocks, 6, self-defense, 7, sweeps and takedowns, 8, jiu-jitsu, 9, sparring and kata, and 10, weapons. The higher in rank that you get, the more complex each one gets. All of those are represented on this belt. As you pass, you will get a stripe for one of these components. Now, let's talk about these stripes for a second. You have to earn your number 1 physical stripe before you can earn any other stripes on your belt. Physical is your warm-up for your number of expected exercises. So you have jumping jacks, push-ups, shoulder touches, sit-ups, leg lifts, and flutter kicks. If you are a white belt, you need to do 10 of those correctly. If you are orange, 20, yellow, 30, and so on and so forth. We talk about the correct posture and stuff for doing our exercises all the time. So as a student, you should know what that is. Once you do that, you get this first stripe. Now this stripe, as you see, is a gold stripe. We will go over why this is gold and why we have another silver one later. But for normally, you would just get a black one. The black one would signify that you have completed the requirement for that stripe. Now, that is the way that it works for every single component that you get. So if you have, for instance, on this belt, we have number 1, physical, number 2, stances, number 3, hand and arm techniques, number 5, blocks, number 8, jiu-jitsu, and number 10, weapons. Once you earn that first stripe, you do not need to go in order for the rest of them. Now, I have a rule that you can ask me to test for any of your component stripes at any time, but you have to be able to tell me a couple of things. When you come to ask me to test, or a leadership student to test for one of these stripes, you must, number 1, be able to tell me what component and what that component is. So if you say, Sensei Lauren, I would like to test for number 4 today, my question is going to be, what is component number 4? If the student is unable to tell me what component number 4 is, I will not allow them to test. They need to be able to tell me that that is foot and leg techniques. Otherwise, they're really not taking any responsibility for what they're trying to test for. They're just trying to get stripes. I want them to take responsibility and know and be able to practice and train what they're working for. Number 2, I'm going to ask them to show me in their notebook where their written requirements are for number 4. So every week when we have a number 4 component, if we're working on that component for that week, I always have written in the corner, I will show you, on that week, on that board right there, the small one right there is where I have all of their requirements written. Let's actually walk over there for a second and look at it. So when we're talking about how to read, this coming up week, for instance, is 3 and 5. I put 3 and 5 because you are meant to look at that and figure out what that means on your own. Students should know. But they can look on this and it says 3, hand and arm techniques, 5, blocks. Everything under this black section is for white belt. Everything under the orange section is for orange. Everything under yellow is yellow and green is green. And do not go higher than that, because by that point they are eligible to get a black belt book in which all of these things are already written for them. The reason that we don't give them a book is because we want them to take responsibility for their own learning. So learning to write things down is going to be reinforcing that responsibility for their own learning. Once they have a small rendition of their own book, then that's when they have earned the right to have one, as well as earn their black belt nickname. So more on that different topic completely. Those are your 10 component stripes. That's how you can ask me if you can test for one of those stripes. If you just learned a move today, say that I taught front kick today, and it's the first time you've ever done a front kick, it's the first time that you learned a specific way to do a front kick, you are not going to be able to test for that front kick today. I'm not interested in your short-term memory, I'm interested in your long-term memory. Can you go home and practice that front kick and then show me that front kick the next day? If so, you'll earn your stripe. Here's our different stripes. The black stripe is passable. It means good, right? So black means good. Now, please understand that our good in Mikio Sarai is well above average in a lot of different styles. Not to toot our own horn, I don't mean to do that or bash any other style. I'm not trying to at all. I just hold a very high quality on a lot of my moves because I think that kids can do it. I think that students can rise to the occasion whenever they're presented with one, and I think they should. Especially when it comes to self-defense. I would rather know something well than good enough in self-defense. So, dropping things, sorry. So moving on. The silver stripe takes it from good to great. So say they're doing a move great. And that means a lot of different things in a lot of different categories. If we're talking about our physical fitness, some kids come in here never having done a push-up in their entire life. Push-ups may be a little bit harder for them for whatever reason. A student may be a little bit overweight. A student may struggle with some muscle issues, some muscle mass issues. There may be a lot of things that hinder a child from being able to do perfect push-ups right away. So if there has been significant improvement in their push-ups, even though they're still not perfect, they have the ability to earn their black good stripe for number 1. Now, a silver stripe represents great. So maybe for push-ups, it means that same student is now able to do half or 70-80% or so of their push-ups from their requirements perfectly. That would signify a great for, or a good for them, a great for them. Gold is excellence. So gold, no matter who you are, the standard is perfection. We know that nobody's perfect, but as close to it as we can get. This is the highest standard you can get on a component stripe, is this gold stripe. This is every single push-up is exactly how it should be. Every shoulder touch is exactly how it should be. Your kicks are being performed at a level higher than your belt rank most of the time. Those are what those kinds of stripe mean. So what this does with these components is it allows them later to see what they are naturally good at, okay? That is what we call our me. So in Mikio Sarai, we all have a me. I know everything in the black belt book. I know a bunch of techniques. I know a bunch of throws, a bunch of jiu-jitsu, a bunch of kicks, a bunch of punching. But let's be real, I'm not good at inside fighting. I'm going to take you to the ground quickly. I'm going to kick you, I'm going to get in, take you to the ground and finish and break your arm or choke you or something. I'm not going to stand there and box with you. I'm not a boxer. I know that. That's not my me. Do I know how to? Can I do it enough to survive? Yes, but that's not my me. You would be able to see this in this. So this person is physically strong with an affinity for jiu-jitsu. So ground fighting is one of their top qualities. That's fine. What this also does is it allows our younger students, for those of you who don't know, you cannot test in Mikio Sarai for a black belt until you're 16. There are instances that we allow a 13-year-old to do so, but it's a very special circumstance. So 16 years old is when you test for your black belt. If you've been training since you were 7, that's a long time. And you may be sitting on a belt rank for a long time waiting to get to that next level. Earning these and having the ability to go higher and farther with both our silver and our gold stripes allows you to refocus and improve in certain areas that are visible to you, okay? So that is a breakdown of our components. I try to keep it under 10 minutes. Hopefully that helps you. If you have any more questions, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to explain it better in person, or again, ask a higher level student. See you guys later.